Alright, so let's talk about the newest episode of Steven Universe. Now this episode is called Maximum Capacity, I believe, or I'm trying to remember the episode right off the episode name off the top of my head. It eludes me, as the sorcerer from Randy Cunningham would say. It eludes me. So I'm trying to remember it. Damn it, what is it called? It's something capacity, I know that. Oh, maximum, yeah, I was right, it's maximum capacity. So, this episode is more or less about Steven and his dad Greg cleaning out his dad's storage room. And I like the little hints of continuity in here, like when Steven broke his and Rose's picture, at least the frame in the second episode. And then we have Steven constantly saying, "I'm still grounded. I can't. You guys grounded me for 1,000 years." And Greg said, "We what?" Yeah. So what Steven pretty much does is that he gets Amethyst to help out, and Amethyst discovers these old episodes called this TV show called Little Butler. Let me say this. I kind of wish Little Butler was its own thing. Like, it could have been like with, in between episodes of Steven Universe, we have little things of Little Butler. But we've seen, like, a lot of that before. Of Steven Universe, we have, like, Helicopter Dog and several other things, but there's a part of me, kind of like with the Mr. Queasy doll, where I was like, I want that to be an actual thing. Can we have that? Anyway. But, yeah, this episode, you'd think it would be all fun, but when you notice that, I noticed that Amethyst gave this odd look to Greg and Rose's picture, I was like, something up here. Something's very much up. And Amethyst is constantly telling Greg to stay, by her side while Steven is out with Garnet and Pearl to celebrate New Year's Eve. That's the other thing, is that we're having a New Year's Eve episode in February, once again showing that these guys, the episodes were held off a little too long, and now they're completely messed up. It's kind of like with the past episode with Lars, Sadie, and Ronaldo. That was meant to be a Halloween episode, and the previous episode that was meant to be, I'm pretty sure, like a Christmas episode of some sorts. But yeah, the end of February, and we now just got to New Year's Eve. Yeah. You're about you're pretty much 2 months off, sadly, Steven Universe, but I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all, Steven Universe. So, yeah, this episode got really heavy. Like, I got bitch-slapped with emotion, and I can't be the only one who had that same experience with this episode. This is typical slice of life like we had in the past episode, although that one had the Edge of Tomorrow thing going on. This one dealt, kind of like with the Stevani episode, this one delved into very much a kind of adult situation, but it doesn't talk down to kids or the younger audience, and it makes it mature, it's mature enough to be, what's going on. The older people, older viewers would understand what's going on, and it's not graphic at all. It's handling a situation that is meant for, like, adult TV shows, and it's handling it a lot better than it would be. And the subject in question is that it looks like Greg and Amethyst had a thing before Rose and Greg did. You pretty much get the sense that Amethyst and him and Amethyst were possibly a couple before he hooked up with Rose and they made Steven. Because it gets really real in this argument where she starts shape-shifting around, and Greg's like, "Don't do this," and then she keeps saying, "You would have stayed for her, not me." And then she transforms into Rose, and that's hard. Like, that is just a below-the-belt punch right there. That is just a below-the-belt hit right there for both Steven and Greg. Although, when Steven's watching this, Amethyst and Greg don't realize he's there. And it's it's kind of intense because, yeah, they pretty much kind of say, without saying it out loud, that, Greg and Amethyst were more or less a thing. There were a couple once. And Amethyst still kind of is a little bitter about, I guess, the breakup. But they do kind of leave off that something could happen again, and I'm pretty sure this just launched the Greg-Amethyst pairing. Now you've got something to war over, Amethyst and Pearl shippers. I kind of jumped ship and went to Garnet and Pearl, so I'm good. Because someone explained to me how logical that would be if Garnet, the reason behind Garnet and Pearl's, how that works as a relationship. If any there was one. So, all in all, this was a really good episode. It went to a place that I was surprised, and I like how they handled it. It was handled very well, in my opinion. And again, Steven is awesome. Like, when he's looking through all the books, like all the book covers are like they reference Lord of the Flies, Fahrenheit, and there's also one that that almost, like, for a second I was like thinking, Lonely Space Vixens? If you know Rugrats, you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, again, just a really great episode, nice little slice of life with a theme in there that really handles handling adult situations that most, live action shows we see today don't really handle well. But yeah, not much else I can say about this other than it was really good. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.